welcome to the Emily Show. This evening, we actually have the characters from the novel Frankenstein to discuss some of the biggest controversies over the novel. So here we have Elizabeth, Henry, the monster, and Victor. Okay, our first question goes to the monster. How do you feel about DeLacy's family now that time has passed?
Well, considering that the old man and his family never even gave me a chance to explain myself in the situation I was in, I find it rather difficult to have any forgiveness or sympathy towards them.
Yeah, that's understandable. Our next question is for Henry. Have your thoughts changed about Victor after everything that has happened that you've gone through?
Not really. He's my best friend and I'll always be there for him, but his problems are so deep that they're just unexplainable, but I will always be with him.
Alright, Elizabeth, can things ever return to normal between you and Victor?
Yes, but there'll definitely be some trust issues because Victor never told me about anything about it until it was too late.
I can see that. As long as you're understanding, I mean, it is quite the ordeal. Okay, now to Victor. Do you regret not speaking of your problems to Elizabeth?
I do regret it because she had no warning, but I was just trying to make our special night perfect, and now I see how naive that was.
Our next question is for you, Monster. What is your biggest regret?
I'd have to say that my biggest regret is not trying to form the unwanted bond between Victor and myself. I believe that if I would have just accepted his answer and tried to find happiness on my own, many of the horrific events that took place probably would have never happened.
I can definitely see why you would feel that way. Okay, to Henry. Do you now wish you would have let Victor figure out his own problems?
No, because he doesn't deserve that, and he's been through so much, and I just feel like he's my best friend, so I'm always going to be there for him, but I don't think he deserved that. If he would have, the consequences would have been too severe that no one knows what would have happened.
I think that's great. Victor really has been struggling lately. Okay, Victor. If you could change one thing that has happened out of everything, what would it be and why?
I think it would definitely be Vicky the monster. In the beginning, it wasn't really to cause harm or anything, but it ended up causing so much pain to people, and I'm sorry to everyone.
Do you guys accept her apology?
Yeah, probably accepting. We've been through a lot though.
Elizabeth, do you have any guilt about not understanding Victor's problems?
Yes, Emily. Of course, I always wanted to be there for him, but with him being gone for so long, it was really hard. What else was I supposed to believe?
Well, what did you believe?
Well, at first, I thought he was seeing another woman.
Hold on then. Victor, everybody wants to know, why didn't you give the monster a name?
Well, I think at the time I was just so overwhelmed that I created something so, like, human-like that I didn't really even think about a name. I wouldn't have a name.
How do you feel about that, monster?
Well, it makes me feel even more of an outcast now because, in the first place, I'm not even human. I don't even know what I am.
That's understandable, though. Okay, monster, I have another question. Do you think, things would have been different if you had a mate like you asked Victor for?
Definitely. I really think that's where my anger came from, honestly. I just needed someone to help and understand me. Victor's reaction to me, though, only made everything much worse.
Okay, Henry, how do you feel about your best friend Victor being accused of your murder?
Well, I can understand because he was the only one there after the monster murdered me. So it's very saddening to me because he wasn't the one that did it. So the accusations were just very harsh. I feel that for you. I'm sorry.
Alright, it looks like our last question goes to Elizabeth today. Okay, if you would have known about the monster's threats to you and Victor, would you still have married him?
Well, yes, after we found out it was safe. But if we would have known about it being unsafe, we wouldn't have married that night. But obviously we suffered consequences because Victor refused to try and help.
And that must have been hard in a relationship. All right, that concludes our show for today. As you can see, the cast still has a lot to talk about and discuss, but we're out of time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.